hope you're doing well today. My name's Jen, and I will be leading you in a 1-hour medium level vinyasa flow class. Vinyasa refers to the movement of the body in unison with the breath. So it's very important to use your breath and follow all the cues in class today in order to maximize your yoga, your experience, and to feel the flow kind of going through your body as it should. We're going to start in easy seated position today. So make yourself comfortable on your mat in a cross-legged, easy seated, or if that's not comfortable for you, just find something that works for you sitting on your sits bones. And we're going to just close our eyes to begin class. You're going to just place your hands gently on your knees, palms facing up, kind of receiving the energy of the day, whatever that might mean to you. And we're going to just start to connect with our breath right here and seated. So closing out the whole rest of the world, kind of going internal, taking a little inventory of how your body might feel to you today. Just go ahead and relax yourself. And then begin to inhale and exhale. Again, paying attention to what is going on internally for you today. The world's been a little bit crazy lately, so there's all kinds of emotions, all kinds of ways we manifest any kind of feelings we might be having inside our bodies. So the beauty of yoga is just to bring you a little bit of peace, a little bit of serenity to what might seem like a little bit of chaos in your life. Again, we're elongating our breaths as we're sitting here together. On the inhale, you're going to feel your vertebrae begin to stack one on top of the other. Your spine becomes tall. The crown of your head becomes light. And then on the exhale, you just want to be able to relax. You still want to maintain your posture, but you want to allow all your muscles to sort of relax into place. Again, we're elongating. Let's take an inhale breath on the count of 3. Inhaling through your nose. 3, 2, 1. And sigh it out. Letting whatever is troubling you melt away from your body. We'll open our eyes now, and let's just go ahead and flip your hands around, just having your palms right there resting on your knees, and we're just going to go ahead and make some circles with just your head to find that rotation in your neck, to find all the stretches on the side, the back, the front. You may hear a little bit of even creaking, so just use your body's wisdom to make that circle as big or small as you need to. As you circle around, ear to shoulder, all the way to the back, and then reversing direction. Taking our time with things, never feeling rushed or hurried, especially at the very beginning when things might seem a little tighter. And now we're going to engage our entire torso by making circles with our upper body. So basically you're going to be drawing a circle on the ceiling with your crown of your head. Again, starting with maybe smaller circles, and as you move around, you can make that circle a little bigger. Rounding your back. In the back, leaning forward with chest in the front. Just feeling that movement of rocking around on your sits bones from side to side, back and forth, and again, reversing that direction. So again, right now we're just kind of waking everything up in a nice undulating sort of movement here. And then find some peace in your seated. So here we go. Inhale deep through your nose as you rise your hands up to the sky. And exhale, float your hands down, little fingertips like little feathers coming down. Inhale, rise up. Leaving your hands high to the sky, pressing your palms together, activating those shoulder muscles. And then interlace your fingers, bringing your hands to the back of your head, and press your elbows way back as you lean your chest forward. You're not really leaning, but you're pressing your heart forward, and you're pressing the back of your head into your hands. So you should feel an opening up of the shoulders here, a slight arch in the back. And you're going to release that press, bring your chin to your chest, and drop the elbows down. Just let the weight of your hands stretch out the back of your neck here. And release the hands from the head, planting both hands behind you, pinkies facing towards each other. Here you're going to pinch your shoulder blades together and just really open up your chest. So you're really letting your heart shine to the sky, shine to the day. Taking a little bit of weight off of your seat. Maybe you even hover your seat a half inch or so off the ground. If you're hovering, go ahead and plant that seat back down. And then we're going to take right hand across left knee, gazing to the back, getting a spinal stretch. Just a nice gentle spinal twist to start. Again, we'll sweep that hand to the back, and the opposite hand comes to opposite knee. Gaze over your shoulder with a tall spine. Finding that nice low back twist. And one last time, we're going to reach both hands behind as you uncurl your legs. Now let's face our fingertips towards your body here. Just flip your hands around, facing your fingertips towards your body. And see if you can plant those hands into the ground and just gently raise your hips off the ground. You're going to get a nice shoulder stretch here in a reverse plank. And go ahead and lower that down, bringing your right knee into your chest, clasping your hand right around your knee. And then we're going to straighten out that knee. We're going to make our shin parallel to the ceiling and the floor with your hands clasped right behind that knee. Just gently pulling that knee right into the chest. Maybe trying to straighten that leg out just a wee bit. And then take a bend in the knee, cross it over the extended leg. Hug that entire leg with your opposite arm and reach behind for an even deeper spinal twist. Using your breath, don't hold your breath in the twist. Just breathe through it, wringing out all those toxins in that mid-body. Then you're going to take the peace fingers of your left hand, wrap them around that right big toe, and just go ahead, and the leg doesn't have to be straightened all the way. But you're going to take your right hand up in the air and turn your entire body to the right side. Finding a little balance there in the tailbone. And then we'll go ahead and release that twist. You're going to fold that leg into a seated tree pose here. And then just gently, I like to clasp my hands right over my knee here, is take a gentle tilt forward onto that extended leg. For a little bit of a tree pose stretch here and seated. Again, using your breath, always taking your time, and just finding that range that works for you today. We'll go ahead and come out of that fold, straighten the leg out, and we'll bring the opposite, that left knee, into your chest. Just kind of go ahead and tug it in close with a tall spine, sitting tall. And then lift that foot off the ground, shin parallel to ceiling and floor. Maybe try straightening that leg out just a wee bit. And then we'll go ahead and bend that knee, cross that foot over the extended leg, hug that entire leg with the opposite arm, and gaze over your shoulder. Using kind of the grippiness of the mat to really find a twist. Gazing over your shoulder. And breathing into the twist. We're just starting out class with a few gentle stretches here. We'll go ahead and make your way to tabletop. So in tabletop, your hands are right under your shoulders and your knees are right under your hips. Fingers are spread starfish wide. And we're going to go ahead and tuck our tailbone in, bring chin to chest for cat stretch. You're really rounding the back, really separating the shoulder blades away from each other. Pushing away from the mat. And then we'll go ahead and take the opposite movement where we sink the belly, raise the crown of the head, and raise the tailbone. Your gaze always follows the movement of your spine here. So exhale to cat, pressing the air out of your body, rounding the back to the sky. Inhale, cow. Gaze and tailbone come up. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. And exhale, find neutral tabletop. Now here, if you want to find any other intuitive movements, whether it's wagging your tail, as we call it, back and forth, maybe windshield wipering the hips side to side, or making a couple little small circles with your back. Just find what you need right now. So we'll go ahead and extend that left foot long behind you. You're stamping the wall behind, your foot is flexed. You're gonna drop those toes to the ground, crossing over to the right side, and then gently press your palms into the mat and find kind of a calf stretch on that extended foot. Gazing at those toes, pressing away from the mat, finding an outer hip stretch. Shift that shoulder weight back over the wrists. You're going to extend that foot right behind you. Raise up the right hand arm off the ground so your bicep is right by your ear here, finding spinal balance. And we'll go ahead and crunch elbow to knee under body, rounding the back. Inhale, lengthen. Really lengthen by stretching out in opposite directions. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, lengthen. Try not to sink into that supporting arm. And here we're going to drop the knee. We're going to raise the hand way up high to the sky to the right and thread the arm under body for thread the needle. So just gently rest that shoulder on the mat. That opposite hand can come to the top of the mat, or maybe you prefer to wrap it around your low back. Enjoying a nice cross shoulder stretch. Again, taking our time, finding our breath, making sure the breath is always nice and even throughout practice, not too labored. We'll unwind that shoulder, come back to tabletop, take one cow-cat stretch before we head to the other side. Finding neutral table to start, extending that right foot long this time, flexing the foot, reaching the heel way back, and then we're going to take that foot and cross it over to the left. So your spine is in a nice C curve, and then gently press away from the mat towards your heel. Again, looking at those toes that haven't been polished for a few months. And we'll go ahead and begin to shift that shoulder weight back over the wrists. Extend that foot straight behind you. We're going to raise the opposite hand off of the mat, finding length in our entire body here. And then we'll go ahead and take our crunches, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. Nice controlled movement, taking your time. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, lengthen. Go ahead and drop that knee. That left hand is going to come high to the sky and thread under body or thread the needle on the other side. So again, that opposite hand can come all the way to the top of the mat, or if you prefer to wrap your low back, maybe even reaching for that hip crease on the opposite side. Again, using your breath and knowing that you're doing something good for yourself today by practicing yoga. One last breath allows us to unwind from that position. Again, we'll kind of cat-cow to kind of reset the spine here. And then we're going to tuck our toes to the mat and find our first dog, down dog. So go ahead and lift your knees off the ground. You're going to be paddling your feet back and forth, finding that nice V shape with your body. Equal weight distribution between the hands and the feet. Taking a bend in one knee and then the other just to stretch out the back of the legs. Finding the hamstrings, finding the back of the calf. And really finding strength in this movement, in this asana called downward facing dog. So your feet should be hip distance apart. Your gaze is to the back of the room. And you're pressing away from the mat with all of your entire hand, including your middle knuckles, not just your palms and wrists. Equal weight distribution. On your next inhale, we're going to shift our shoulders over our wrists into plank. Really feeling strong in the midsection by hugging your belly button to your spine. Exhale back to down dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, dog, and now begin to walk your hands towards your feet to the back of the mat. And you're gonna hang right here in a ragdoll. You can clasp your arms. You can sway back and forth, shaking your head, making sure your entire upper body is loose, and you're finding that stretch in the back and the hamstrings. You're going to take a bend in the right knee, place the right hand on top of that foot, and twist up to the left, staring straight up at that left hand. And exhale, switch, straighten the legs out, now bending the left leg with the left hand on top, and finding a twist up. And we'll go ahead and bring that back to ragdoll. Here you're going to one vertebrae at a time, just roll up. Imagine you stacking one vertebrae at a time, starting with your low back to your upper back. And then take a shoulder roll here. Your inhale brings your hands up high to the sky. Your hands meet together at the top, crisscrossing your thumbs. We're going to bend off to the right. Finding a nice opening here on the entire left body, the ribs separating. Inhale up through center as you reverse clasp your hands to the sky, your palms to the sky, and take a little bit of a balance challenge here by coming up on your tippy toes, staring straight in front of you, trying to find that spot of balance on your toes. Lower the heels. We're going to point those fingers back up to the sky, crisscrossing the thumbs, and bend off to the left. Inhale up, and exhale. You're going to sit back in chair as your hands come right back down here to prayer center. So for chair pose, you want your bum to be back. This is not a squat where your knees are over. It's your seat is back. Your shins are aiming to be straight up and down. You're finding an activation of the quadricep muscle here. And your toes are kind of free from pressure. A lot of the weight's in your heels. And we're going to go ahead and bend all the way forward into the fold as you walk your hands forward to the front of the mat into plank. Exhale, down dog. Come up high on your toes in down dog. Sink both heels off to the right corner of your mat. If you're feeling comfortable here, you can even raise one of your hands up off the ground. Otherwise, leave them planted. And we'll come up high on our toes in down dog and sink your heels to the other side. Again, if you'd like a challenge, you don't even have to come up that high. You can just take the weight off of that one hand. And back to down dog. Coming forward to plank. And back to down dog. We're going to reach your right foot high to the sky and 3-point. So this is a 3-point dog. And you're going to come forward knee to nose cheetah. Back up to the sky. Come knee to nose cheetah. Lower the knee all the way down to the mat. You're going to kickstand that shin of that bent leg off to the side and find a modified side plank. So here in modified side plank, you want your hand and your knee and your foot to be in one straight line. And now reach way overhead with that hand that's high to the sky, bicep by ear, and find a long line from your middle finger all the way to your pinky toe. Really stretching things long. Bring that extended hand back up high to the sky and raise the foot off the floor for a modified balancing half moon. And we'll go ahead and come back to tabletop, tucking your toes for down dog, lifting that left foot high to the sky for 3-point dog. Feeling strong in your foundation. Coming forward, knee to nose, cheetah, shoulders over wrists. Inhale, back up, foot high to the sky. Exhale, cheetah. Really pressing away from the mat with the hands as you lower that knee down. We're going to kickstand that kneeling shin off to the side, finding your modified side plank. Arms spread out wide like a nice wingspan. Again, your hand, your knee, and your foot in one straight line, and then begin to really reach that extended hand overhead, bicep by ear, finding that long line from your middle finger to your big toe. And then we'll raise that right hand high back up to the sky and see if you can lift that extended foot off the ground for a balancing half moon modified. And we'll go ahead and come back to table for just a moment. And here we're going to go ahead, we'll find one more down dog here, moving right into plank. And then option to drop to your knees as you Chaturanga down. That's a reverse tricep push-up if you'd like to drop to your knees. The important thing here is to bring your elbows to the back behind you as you lower down. And just hover your chest to the mat. See if you can push back up. Lowering down, Chaturanga. Hover. Pressing yourself back away from the floor. And we're going to go all the way down to our belly this time. So lowering your body down. Again, always hugging your side body with your elbows. You don't want your elbows wide on a Chaturanga. The idea is to tuck them in. You're going to really feel a good tricep activation on those Chaturangas. So let's put our hands right under our shoulders here. Your gaze is forward towards the top of your mat. And just again, with your elbows tucked right in, hugging your rib cage, press away from the ground for Cobra Pose. This is a little baby cobra. You don't have to straighten your arms all the way out. In fact, it's preferred not to, so you can really just activate the upper back muscles here. Try taking a little pressure off the hands. Exhale down. Inhale, press away. Just halfway with bent arms. Exhale, lower down. This time, we're going to lift our chest off the ground along with our hands. Really activating those upper back muscles. And exhale, lower down. Tuck your toes to the ground. You can transition to your tabletop or push yourself right up into downward facing dog. Again, just a little bit of a paddle. And as you paddle, you can walk those feet up to the hands towards the top of the mat. Place your hands on your shins, straighten your back out. Crown of the head forward, tailbone back. Exhale, round and fold. Inhale, lift halfway, hands to shins, flat back. Exhale, round and fold. Inhale one more time. Halfway lift, we call this, with a straight back. Round and fold. And inhale, reverse one, dive your hands high to the sky. Your gaze follows your hands. And exhale, float your hands down by your sides in Tadasana pose. So Tadasana looks like just a regular stand, but you're feeling strong and grounded in this stance. You can do the stand at any old time, any old place, in the shower, at the grocery store line, anywhere. But there's a difference between this and this. So this is a strong stance. You have equal weight in your feet. All four corners of your feet are grounded. Shoulders over hips, over knees, over ankles. Shoulders relaxed. blades melting down, palms facing forward, and crown of the head high. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, swan dive down, leading with chest. Crown of the head drops. Inhale, lift halfway with a flat back. Exhale, bend the knees, palm the mat, step or float to plank. Chaturanga, when you lower yourself down, there's always that option to drop to your knees. Sweep you back to that cobra. Exhale, sink the chest down. Tuck the toes, find down dog. Take one breath cycle in through your nose. On your next exhale, make your way to the top of the mat with your feet. Inhale, lift halfway with a flat back. Exhale, fold and round. Inhale, reverse swan dive high to the sky. Exhale, sit back in chair. Finding prayer hands right here in chair. Again, feeling strong and activated in the thighs. Inhale, rise. Exhale, float down, leading with chest. Crown of the head drops. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, palm the mat, step or float to plank. Chaturanga. This is called your vinyasa flow. Exhale, chest sinks down for just a moment. Tuck the toes, find down dog. Take a slight bend in both knees. Maybe you gently hop your way to the top of the mat in 1 or 2 or 3 gentle hops. Inhale, lift halfway with a flat back. Exhale, fold and round. Inhale, reverse swan dive high to the sky. Trapping your hands with your arms. And exhale, sit back in chair. We're going to take a twisted chair here. So you're going to keep your knees all lined up in a row here and just twist your upper torso outside elbow to opposite knee. Your gaze follows the movement of your spine and your hands are in prayer. Gently pressing, finding that twist. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, palm the mat. Step or float to plank. Take your vinyasa flow, which is your chaturanga, sweeping through dog or cobra, and exhale, down dog. Make your way to the top of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway with a flat back. Exhale, fold and round. Inhale, reverse swan dive high to the sky. And exhale, sit back in chair. Find that twist. Breathing through the movements, making a nice even airflow with your breath. Nothing too labored. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, float down. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, palm the mat, step or float to plank. Chaturanga. Up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, right foot high to the sky. Your hips are parallel to the mat. Your gaze is right behind you. And exhale, sweep that back foot through to the front, finding Crescent Lunge. So for Crescent Lunge, you're high on your back toes, your front leg is bent, knee over ankle, and you're finding a nice crescent shape with your body here. Fan, twist your arms open to the right. We're going to tilt forward and find modified side angle. Actually, revolve side angle. We'll go ahead and come right back up to crescent. Find your hands at prayer center. Tilt forward, and we're going to take that chair twist with our leg back. This is called a crescent prayer twist. Go ahead and drop that left hand down to the inside of the foot and find that revolve side angle one more time. Drop the floating hand to the outside of the foot. Lower the knee down, and we're going to uncurl the toes in the back. And we're going to go ahead and come up out of that lunge just a little, that low lunge. Place your clasped hands right over that front leg, right above your knee, and sink the hips down. Finding a nice, good hip flexor stretch there on the left. Low lunge. Breathing through the movements. Plant a hand on either side of the foot. Sit back for half split. You're gonna find an intense hamstring stretch on this side. I got a little issue with my hamstring on the side, so I can really feel this. So notice those little things between your lefts and your rights. And exhale, lunge back. We're gonna flow this a little bit just by sitting back and lunging forward. Exhaling on the forward. Actually, exhaling here on that flexion. Let's plant the left hand right on the mat, right near your knee inside, and revolve it. Hand floats down. We're going to walk everything to the front as you low lunge. Step the foot back and take a vinyasa flow. So these vinyasa flows are kind of consistent throughout practice. We're going to take the left foot high to the sky. And exhale, thread the foot through the hands for Crescent Lunge. So with those vinyasa flows, you can always take a child's pose if you've had enough, or you just don't think you're up for all those vinyasa flows. I leave them in, but it's up to you to find what works for your practice. So we're gonna fan our arms out and twist open to the right. Meanwhile, leaving your hips straight forward. Tilt forward, planting that right hand right inside the foot. Lift those hips high and gaze at the hand. Using core strength, find your way back to that Crescent Lunge. And bring those hands back to prayer, right at your heart center. Hinge forward, and we're gonna take a little gentle twist. Breathing, finding balance, finding the little nuances. Release the hands, plant the right hand right inside that foot that's on the ground, and open up, finding your wingspan. Drop that left hand outside that front foot, drop that back knee. Again, uncurl the toes. We're taking a really deep low lunge, but let's come out of the lunge for just a moment while we position ourselves, placing those hands right over that front thigh, right above the knee, and go ahead and press the hips forward. Again, these are really, you gotta take your time with these stretches. You don't ever wanna pull something or let your ego get in the way. Like, I used to be able to do that, or, oh, I can do that. It's not always as easy as you think, and your body really knows how far to take it, so listen to your body. We'll go ahead and release the hands, bring them to the ground, straightening out the front leg, exhaling on that intense hamstring stretch here in the front, half split. Inhale, lunge forward. You can kind of creep your hands up and back, and we'll just kind of flow this to kind of get those muscles, tendons kind of nice and loose. One more time, we're gonna sit back and half split. You're gonna plant your hand right to the mat, your right hand, and revolve it by twisting your body open. And we'll go ahead and float that hand down, walking your hands forward back to that low lunge. Coming up on those back toes, stepping back for plank. Let's just take a little child's pose here by bringing your knees out as wide as your mat, touching your big toes, and bringing your forehead to the mat, reaching forward. Noticing your heart rate. Noticing anything your body wants to tell you right now. Take a couple more breath cycles on your own. We're going to do a little bit more intensive flowing now. So just follow the cues and do what you can. Child's pose is always an option to just take a break from whatever it is you're doing. Slowly coming up out of child's. Bringing your knees back, hip distance apart. Bringing your hands to the mat. Coming right back into downward facing dog. On your next inhale, you're going to send the right foot up high to the sky for 3-point plank. Exhale, come forward, cheetah, knee to nose, pressing away from the floor, puffing up your back. Inhale, back to 3-point. Exhale, cheetah. Inhale, 3-point. Exhale, bring the foot through the hands, spinning flat on that back foot at an angle, finding warrior one. Warrior one, your hips are facing forward. Your knee is right over your ankle in the front. So you're kind of deep in that knee. Back foot is angled. And your arms are high to the sky. We're going to take this warrior one and flow it a little bit by straightening out the front leg. And as you do so, bring your arms into goalpost with nice strong arms. You might even want to make fists like you're flexing your muscles. So that front leg is straight. Inhale, we're going to bend and straighten the arms out back to warrior one. Exhale, goalpost straighten. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, straighten the leg, goalpost arms. One last warrior one here. And we're going to spin our hands and our hips and our chest for warrior two. So warrior two, nothing changes in your foundation, your legs. That thigh is trying to be parallel to the ceiling and the floor. Knee is right over ankle, not tracking to the middle. Toes facing forward, back foot angled, and arms out wide. You may want to check your middle fingers by gazing forward and back. See if you can get that nice straight line on your body so you feel strong. And always your belly button is tucked in, tailbone slightly tucked, no sagging belly here. We'll take that back hand to your low back, reaching for that front hip crease, and lean way back, shining your heart to the sky for a peaceful warrior. Inhale back to warrior two. Inhale, peaceful warrior. And it's exhale, warrior two. So whenever we inhale, we're filling our belly up. And the exhale, we're kind of coming forward again, pressing the air out. So here we're going to do the same thing. We're going to straighten the front leg and the arms up overhead. Straightening right here in warrior two stance. Exhale, back to warrior two. Inhale, straighten legs, arms up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, straighten it out. Exhale, warrior two. Remember to keep your tailbone tucked in. One last time, we're going to straighten. This time, we're going to leave our legs straight, fan the arms out, reach forward with the right fingertips, and then take a side bend here for triangle pose. So again, you may or may not have a block at home, but would be a good time to use a block. Or you can just gently rest your hand on that shin. Or if you're feeling really loose, you can bring your hand all the way to the floor. But don't try to do anything that your body isn't ready for. You can always gaze up at your hands for a little extra challenge here. Finding triangle pose. We'll come back to upright, bend the knee for warrior two, cartwheel the hands down either side of the foot, step back and take a vinyasa flow. Finding that up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Taking a little breath, reaching that left foot high to the sky behind you. Exhale, come forward, cheetah, knee to nose. High on those back toes, puffing up the back. Inhale, 3-point. Exhale, cheetah. Inhale, 3-point. Exhale, bring that foot in between the hands. Spin flat on that back foot at an angle, finding warrior one, hips pressing forward. Hands high, feeling strong again, tucking things in, not being loosey-goosey here. You're a strong warrior. And as we straighten out the legs, we're going to get strong arms. Goal post, nice strong arms. I like to make fists to feel stronger. Exhale, warrior one. Inhale, straighten it out. Exhale, warrior one. Inhale, straighten out the front leg, big strong arms. One last time, warrior one. And then we fan the chest out for warrior two. Arms span out wide, checking our Positioning of our arms. We're going to take that back hand, rest it to the low back. Maybe even grab into that front hip crease. And then we're going to flip the palm in the front and find a peaceful warrior. Surrendering, reaching your heart, being vulnerable. And exhale, warrior two. Inhale, peaceful. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, peaceful. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, straighten legs, arms overhead. Exhale, bend that knee back to warrior two, arms fan out. Inhale, straighten and rise. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, straighten and rise. Exhale, warrior two. Last inhale. You're going to straighten out your legs. This time you're going to fan your arms out while keeping that leg straight in the front. Reach the left fingertips forward and then side bend over for side triangle pose. So here again, you can rest the hand on a shin or a block or the foot, or maybe we can reach the floor. It's entirely your practice. There's no comparisons. Inhale, back up your torso here. Bend the leg for warrior two and cartwheel the hands down to either side of the foot. Stepping it back to plank and taking a vinyasa flow. Gotta keep my eye on the time here. We got a little bit of time. I wanted to do two more kind of flows. We'll see what we can get done here. But we'll go in the order that was designed here today. Finding down dog. You're going to reach that right foot high to the sky for 3-point. And now take a bend in the knee. Open up the hip to the side. Gaze under the armpit. That heel is reaching right for the glute. You're really getting a hip flexor stretch here. Opening up that hip. Inhale the hips back square to the mat. Send that foot back up, straightening it out. Exhale, cheetah. Inhale up. And exhale, bring the foot through the hands, finding warrior one. So we're finding a strong warrior one here. And now we're gonna keep the leg bent in the front and find those strong arms again, goalpost arms here. So here you're gonna bring your left bent arm in front of you and cradle the right inside the left, or the left inside the right. So the foot that's in the front, that arm is down. And then intertwine your forearms, finding your palms, remembering to keep tight in your ab area here. So lean back just a little, and then begin to hinge forward to the midline of your body for a humble warrior. You might even find your upper arm reaching your leg. Inhale, back up. Unwind the hands for warrior one, find warrior two. Inhale, reach that back hand behind, find your peaceful warrior. And this time we're gonna come forward, elbow to knee as you reach way over with that left hand, finding that long line. Inhale, back up for peaceful. Your legs are nice and stationary, knee over ankle in the front, bent leg. Exhale, modified side angle. One more time, peaceful. And this time we're going to come up on the back toes for Crescent Lunge. You're gonna hinge forward. You may need to sort of step that back foot up. We're gonna find a grounded warrior here. Grounded warrior. So your hips are square to the ground. The back foot is flexed and that back leg is parallel to the ceiling and floor. Your legs are at a 90-degree angle. If you'd like to just have your fingertips slightly on the mat and begin to shift more of your weight into the right fingertips and begin to lift the left hand off of the floor, opening up your entire chest to the front, in the front of you. This is balancing half moon. So you really want that hip open. My legs are shaking. And then exhale, bring that hand back down to the ground. And we're going to take a Kundalini Squat here, which is bending that supporting leg and bending the back leg, but crossing it behind you to a squat. So your chest is going to kind of raise up in the window here. And exhale back to Grounded Warrior. That was an inhale. Exhale, squat the Kundalini. Inhale, straighten out. Exhale, squat. We're going to lower that back foot down to the ground and find ourselves in a cross-legged forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway with a flat back. Exhale, fold and round. And inhale, rise. Your legs are crossed here. I'm not sure if you can see that in the video. Your legs are crossed. And now we're going to sit back in chair with a crossed leg here. So if you want to float your right toes on the ground or lift them up and intertwine, we're going to try to make our way to eagle here. If you'd like to just stay in a cross-legged chair, that's fine. Otherwise, you can engage the arms by bringing your right hand in front of you and cradling the left inside the right. Finding eagle, intertwining the lower legs and the lower arms. And now I'm going to challenge you to fly your eagle by slowly unwinding. If you'd like to just anchor that foot on the ground for a moment to give yourself some relief. You can come straight into Stork Pose, which is that knee right in front of you, and then float back, flying your eagle into the sky. And you can always drop an arm, or if that airplane is a bit much. Or you can just play with it by engaging your fingertips to the ground and engaging that. Okay, that was a lot of time on one leg. We're going to do the other side, and then we are going to come to the mat to relax. So, we'll take a little break right here in Tadasana. Take a nice cleansed breath in, and exhale. Inhale up. Exhale, fold, leading with chest. Dropping the crown of the head. Inhale, lift halfway with a flat back. Exhale, palm the mat. Step or float to plank. This will be your last vinyasa movement here. Chaturanga to up dog to down dog. And this time we're going to move our left foot high to the sky. Finding strength in those 3 points that make contact with the ground. Take a bend in that extended leg. Open up the hip and gaze under the arm. Really opening up that hip. Inhale that foot straight back up high to the sky with your hips parallel to the mat. Exhale, come forward, cheetah. Puffing up your back, high on the back toes. Inhale back to 3 point, and exhale, step the foot through the hands, finding warrior one. So right here in warrior one, remember to stay strong in your lower body there. You're going to find strong arm goalposts. Bring the left elbow forward, cradle the right inside the left, intertwine those forearms. And then just slightly find a back bend here before you begin to fold into the midline of your body. Again, you may find that your arm rests right there on your thigh, but try not to dump all your weight there. Try to stay strong and use your core strength to fold. Inhale back up, unwinding the hands, and finding warrior two just by turning the upper body, spanning arms out wide. The back hand finds right at your low back, and you take a peaceful warrior. Exhale, this time elbow comes to knee, you're reaching way over the side, bicep by ear. Inhale, peaceful. Exhale, modified side angle. Inhale, peaceful. Exhale, modified side angle. Inhale, peaceful. And exhale, warrior two. We're gonna spin on those back toes right into crescent lunge here. And again, I'd like you to try to launch into grounded warrior three, but if you need to hop forward a little bit with that back foot, that's totally fine. I just have to reposition for the camera. So our legs are at a 90-degree angle. The back foot is flexed. Fingertips are light on the ground in front of you. Your gaze is straight down. And now begin to shift a lot of your weight into the left fingers and begin to open up the hip like you had in 3-point and bring that hand off the mat to float it high to the sky for balancing half moon. Finding that sweet spot of balance. Once you get that sweet spot in balancing half moon, it could be a favorite pose. And there's other ways to play with balancing half moon we can talk about another time. So bring those hands back down to the mat. Begin to bend that supporting leg and bend the opposite leg, squatting down. As you squat down, your chest comes forward, your gaze comes to the top of the mat. Inhale back to grounded warrior. Exhale, Kundalini descent. Inhale, grounded warrior, straightening everything out. Exhale, one last cross-legged squat. And you're gonna drop that back foot cross-legged behind the supporting foot and find a cross-legged fold. Hands to shins, half lift. Exhale, round and fold, and inhale, rise up with crossed legs here. And now you're gonna sit back in a chair, cross-legged style. So with the front foot, the little toes can anchor onto the ground if you like, but try to sit back in a chair with nice crossed legs like a lady. And then if you'd like to, if you're a little more advanced, you wanna morph this right into eagle, you would intertwine your lower legs. Your left hand comes forward, right cradled inside, upper arms intertwine, palms find each other, sitting down, lifting the elbows, finding that eagle pose. So I'll give you a moment to feel centered or to keep playing with it. And then we're gonna unwind and fly the eagle away and get down to the ground. So when you're ready to unwind, again, if you need a break, you can put that foot down. Otherwise, you're gonna start with your knee in front and hinge right at the hip to fly. And again, it's not mandatory to float. If you need grounding, you can kind of come back to that grounded warrior three. And I'm ready to rest that down. Woo! All right. There's not a lot of time to class left, so let's get down. We're gonna do a little bridge work because I like to get a bridge into each class. And let's start by coming down to our seats, planting your hands kind of right behind you, bent knees. We'll take one reverse tabletop, kind of stretch out those shoulders. So this is, you're pressing your hips high to the sky here. Should feel like a really good shoulder stretch. Float your seat down. We'll just take one quick boat pose since we played with little one-legged boats at the beginning of class today. We'll go ahead and find that sweet spot of balance on your tailbone. If you couldn't find that sweet spot for half moon, you might find it here in boat. So again, you can hang on to the back of your legs. Just try to keep your back straight, not rounded, but straight. And again, there's many variations. If you'd like to bring your arms out wide or straighten your legs out. I just always like to get a little of that core activation. And again, slowly lower those feet down to the ground. Reach your hands forward, palms facing up. Now you can round your back and place it on the ground. Peeling down to the mat. And finding some peace right here on your spongy mat. Not quite as comfortable as bed, but we deserve a little bit of a rest here. We're gonna take that bridge first by planting your feet on the ground right under your glute muscles there, arms alongside your body, palms facing down. And I want you to just hold a pelvic tilt here so you can feel your entire spine making contact with the ground. Don't feel anything else up, just your tailbone. This is a way to really engage a lot of those small little muscles there. Remember to breathe, and then just go ahead and relax. One more time, we're gonna press the low back into the mat, lift the tailbone, and now begin to peel up the low vertebrae, the middle vertebrae, and the upper, right there. Pressing those hip bones high to the sky, feeling grounded in your feet, not letting the back of your neck touch the mat, just your head and your shoulders, your feet. And I like to clasp my hands under body here, maybe even lift up on the shoulders to walk them a little closer together to really get that height in your hips. Taking a nice breath here, right here in bridge. This is a little mini inversion. We can't include every pose in every class, even though I'd really like to do that. Some of the best exercises are inverted with legs in the air and whatnot, but I think this is all we have time for today. But go ahead and bring those knees right into your chest. Lower down, bring the knees into your chest, and maybe even hold on to your knees just enough to peel that tailbone off below. We'll take our other little mini inversion here by reaching for the outer blades of your feet right here in a tucked position. And now bring your, keep your knees bent, but bring your feet to like you're squatting on the ceiling, and then tuck your upper arms inside your knees. We're just finding happy baby here. So if you'd like to play with your toes or take any other sort of intuitive sort of movements here. Some people like to straighten out a leg or the other or both. But happy baby is a great pose to play around, be happy. When we're all doing happy baby together, no one can really see what you're doing, so just have fun with it. Because it's kind of a silly pose, but you should never feel self-conscious in yoga. It's all good. And then just hanging on to the outer blades of your feet here. You can either stay right here or take your hands and bring your feet, the soles of your feet together, right there at the top. And then wrap both hands around both outer blades of your feet, bringing your heels in towards your groin to stretch out the inner thigh. Noticing your breath slowing down. And then slowly lower those feet down to the mat below your body. You may even want to rest your hands on your inner thigh there to just give it an extra little butterfly press. Feeling your upper back start to melt into the mat. Finding a little bit of just downtime, a little relaxation from working your muscles. Choose to sort of melt. Maybe now your hands are down by your sides, palms facing up. You can choose to straighten out your legs here, or you can leave them in bound angle. We're all built a little differently and have different comfort levels. But this is kind of a universal pose. Savasana, also known as corpse pose, because we really want you to feel, we want you to feel alive, so it's a little irony there, but we want you to just feel complete and utter peace with your physical self, with your body, the thing that carries you around, and allow your spirit to float out. Feeling the gravity and the heaviness of the physical self, but also feeling the levity and the lightness of our souls, of our spirits, which is really the essence of who we are individually. Noticing the chest, the rise and fall is slowing down. Noticing the heart rate. And eventually choosing not to notice anything, which is the whole point. To just be. Being that I've run over my hour, I'm gonna wake you guys up, but you can go right back down after this video is over. So go ahead and wiggle your fingers, toes, bringing movement and life back into that physical self. We honor our bodies. We wouldn't be able to just move around and know everybody without them. So bring the knees to the chest, cross the ankles, and then peel the head off the floor. If you can kind of rock forward and back to seated, you can do it that way, or you can make your way to seated in another way, but just take your time. Finishing class as we started, honoring the practice, because in this crazy world today, we all need a little bit of yoga. Sweeping hands overhead, meeting palms at the top, gently. And just go ahead and rub your hands together as you slowly bend your elbows and feel the energy of yourself, of your soul, as you sweep over your mind, as you sweep over your words, and as you sweep over your heart, which is your giving center. Find peace in your hands, pressing your prayer hands right there at your heart. Bring your chin to chest and bow namaste. The light and the spirit in me recognizes and honors the light and spirit in you. I hope you enjoyed class. My name's Jen, and I hope you enjoyed our uptown views. Namaste.